The apartment Maya lived alone in an old building in the heart of downtown. I knocked on her door but heard no answer. To my surprise, the door was slightly open. As I stepped inside, everything looked normal. A coffee cup rested on the counter, and keys lay near the entrance. Yet her laptop was still open, its screen faintly glowing. Curiously, I began to scroll through the laptop's display. Her browsing history revealed strange searches. How to disappear without a trace. What happens if someone blocks your phone signal? Can the government track you via smart devices? The desk was also cluttered with scattered notes. They know I'm on to them. I can't trust anyone, not even family. If I go missing, check the library. Ask about the red book. A thick tension hung in the air as I surveyed the chaos surrounding me. Dot papers littered the desk, some crumpled and torn, suggesting urgency. I picked up a note. The ink was smudged, hinting at her frantic thoughts. "Trust no one!" it warned, serving as a chilling reminder of her paranoia. A wave of concern washed over me. Where could she have gone? Outside, the city thrived with life, blissfully unaware of the turmoil behind that door. Each unanswered question weighed heavily on me, like stones pressing down on my chest. As I ventured further into her world, a sense of unease took hold. It felt like I stood on the edge of something dark and dangerous. Every note seemed to whisper secrets of dread, pulling me deeper into a web of mystery that might lead to her whereabouts. The fragments of her story began coming together like shards of a broken mirror, reflecting a reality I found difficult to comprehend. Determined to find Maya, I gathered the notes, holding them tightly as I retreated into the shadowy hallway, ready to uncover the truth behind her disappearance.
The library was quiet, dusty, and mostly forgotten. I asked the librarian about a red book. She gave me a weird look. "There's only one red book here," she said. "It hasn't been checked out in decades." It was a journal, bound in red leather, filled with handwritten notes. And the handwriting? It was Maya's. But the entries were dated years before she was born. Confused, I flipped through the pages. Names I didn't recognize. Dates stretching back to the 1950s. One passage caught my eye. They've infiltrated everything. Government, media, even families. Trust no one. If you find this, you're already being watched. Then, in the final page, scrawled in fresh ink, find him. Before he finds you, there was a name written beneath it, Dr. Elias Vorn. My heart raced as I considered the implications of those words. Who was Dr. Elias Vorn, and why did Maya feel the need to warn me? I glanced around the dim library, the shadows seeming to unfurl like sinister whispers against the walls. There was no doubt in my mind, I needed answers. I caressed the red leather cover, feeling a strange connection to the past within its pages. What secrets did this journal hold? With steady hands, I closed it and made my way to the front desk, determined to ask the librarian more about its mysterious author. She looked up, surprise flickering in her eyes, and nodded. "You're not the first to ask about that book," she murmured, leaning closer. "There are stories of those who sought it out, people drawn to its warnings. They say once you read it, you can't forget." Her voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. "You might even become part of the story yourself." The librarian's warning hung in the air like a dense fog, thick with unease. I could feel the weight of the journal in my bag, pulling me towards an uncertain fate. With a deep breath, I pushed the thoughts aside, resolved to uncover the truth about Dr. Vorn and the chilling legacy entwined with his name. I took a step back, the journal feeling heavier with each passing moment, its significance pressing down on my very being. "What do you mean by stories?" I asked, urgency lacing my words, as I leaned in closer to the librarian. Her gaze flickered over my shoulder, as though the shadows themselves were listening, before she finally spoke in a hushed tone. "There are those who claim Dr. Vorn's influence has reached far beyond the pages of that book." Her eyes bore into mine, filled with a mix of fear and intrigue. "They say he's still out there, and some believe he's not even human anymore." "Not human?" I echoed incredulously, my pulse quickening. What do you mean? The librarian hesitated, glancing towards the library's dim corners as if afraid of what might emerge from the shadows. There are rumors, you see, she continued, her voice barely above a whisper. People have disappeared after crossing paths with him, vanishing like smoke. Many think he's become something more, a puppet master pulling strings. I felt a chill creep down my spine. The very notion of an ancient specter orchestrating unseen horrors felt surreal yet disturbingly plausible. But why would Maya write about him? I pressed, the connection unsettling yet electrifying. The librarian pursed her lips, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. Perhaps she discovered too much, she replied slowly, and tried to warn others. Or maybe, her voice trailed off, leaving the question lingering like the musty smell of old books. My mind raced with possibilities as I grasped the journal, its pages alive with secrets waiting to be unraveled. I need to find out what Maya knew about him, I declared, determination surging within me. The librarian nodded, seeming to understand the resolve in my tone. But be cautious, she warned, a shadow passing over her face. Truth can be a dangerous weapon. With those words ringing in my ears, I felt propelled toward a path I could never have imagined, the looming figure of Dr. Elias Vaughan urging me onward into a web of intrigue that could ensnare my fate forever. Many have tried to confront him, the librarian continued, her voice shaking slightly, but the truth they sought often comes at a terrible cost. I shivered, feeling the weight of those words settle heavily on my chest. What kind of cost? I asked, my heart racing as I envisioned the lengths others might have gone to uncover Dr. Vaughan's secrets. She leaned closer, pulling a worn-out piece of paper from underneath the counter. This, she explained, is an account from the last person who tried to track him down. It's filled with warnings and cryptic notes, a tangled tale of madness and despair. With trembling hands, she offered it to me, the parchment crinkling like the echo of whispered warnings filled with dread. I took the paper, feeling its frail texture between my fingers as I scanned the faded ink. The words painted a haunting picture of obsession that echoed deep in my mind. The librarian's gaze bore into me, a silent plea hidden behind her concern. Be careful, she urged softly, some stories never. A quick search told me Dr. Vaughan was a former neuroscientist who worked on classified memory experiments for the government. His research had mysteriously disappeared after a lab fire in 2018. He was presumed dead. But according to public records, he'd just bought property under a new name 2 towns over. I had to see for myself. I drove through winding roads lined with trees, my heart racing with each passing mile. The thought of meeting a presumed dead scientist was electrifying and terrifying. What secrets could he hold? As I approached the quaint house he purchased, I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the unknown. Would he be grateful for my visit, or would he resent being found? I parked my car discreetly and stepped out, feeling the crisp air wrap around me. With one last glance at the house, I pressed forward, my footsteps crunching on the gravel path. A sense of urgency and apprehension mingled within me as I approached the door, my hand lingering over the knocker for a heartbeat before I finally rapped against the wood. The door creaked open, and there he stood, Drive. Vaughan, his hair disheveled and eyes widening in surprise. Who are you? He demanded, his voice a mix of caution and curiosity. The question hung in the air, heavy with uncertainty, as I wrestled with my words. My mind raced, searching for a way to explain my presence without sending him into hiding again. Taking a deep breath, I stammered out, I know who you are, and what you did. I watched as his expression shifted, curiosity giving way to a flicker of recognition, but also fear. Would he trust me? Would he be willing to share his secrets, or would I become the next chapter in his story of disappearances? The tension was palpable, and I knew this moment would define everything that followed. Secrets, he echoed, eyes narrowing as he stepped back, as if weighing the threat of my knowledge against the safety of his hidden life. You shouldn't be here. I sensed the walls closing in around us, the air thick with unspoken warnings. Please, I just need answers, I implored, hoping for an opportunity to breach the fortress of his isolation. His brow furrowed, glances darting behind him, as if contemplating the consequences of letting me in. The world outside faded, leaving only the heart of this unexpected confrontation. Then you'll have to promise absolute discretion, he finally said, voice low but resolute, and my pulse quickened at his terms. As he opened the door wider, an unspoken agreement formed between us, the unyielding grip of his past now mingling with my desperate search for truth. Stepping over the threshold, I sensed the weight of secrets ready to unfold, a new chapter beginning as our fates intertwined.